Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Cameron. Albert, we've had this team before, and they were knocking on the door, and finally YSU women knocked the door down.
National champions. Amazing. YSU captured first national title. Best of 7, 4-3 over Jacksonville State. They have knocked off the top-ranked Nebraska in the semifinals. And George, what do you say, what we've talked about before, that anybody that competes in sports and wins a national title, that means they practice, that means they put the time in.
Yeah, I don't care what sport it is.
Right. We say that all the time.
Pillow fighting. If I was swinging down the other day, I saw something. I didn't put it on, but thinking to myself, to be the best. And then you notice, too, they lost games 5 and 6.
Right.
So Jacksonville State didn't give up either.
No, they came back.
Yes.
Yeah. Doug Kaburski is the coach of YSU, and we'd like to get him on the show sometime if we can. We'll ask Greg, our producer. He bowled in Nebraska, got a doctorate at Texas A&M. I think he's prepared to win a national championship when you bowl at a top play school.
They all two-handers now. I'd love to know. I watched the other night. They're all two-handers.
I'd like to know that too.
I saw the other night they had a challenge, like two-handers versus one-handers, because it appears the new way is two-handed.
Yeah, the spin on it.
No thumb, huh?
They get on that spot. They get that natural spin on it.
Yeah,
and they curve it. And they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, well done. You got well done.
Yeah, girls celebrate first national championship at YSU. Also at YSU, we have another story. 7'3" center Gabe Dines leaving YSU for the money, going to Southern Cal for $600,000. I guess YSU couldn't match that, and I understand. Ohio State had offered him $500,000. Everybody thought he was going there, but the money spoke, George. He's going across the country.
No, it's never going to change. It's a sign of the times. You don't have to like it. We're going to talk about the Tennessee quarterback later, who overplayed his hand. Mm-hmm. See, you got these kids going in there now, and I hate to say this, but they probably should all have agents.
I think they all will
professionals.
I think they will.
You know, and then there's talk of 1-year contracts, 2-year contracts. Obviously, something has to be done. You can't have total free agency every year.
Every year.
And I'd be like, imagine the NFL or the NBA or even MLB, every year, everybody's new.
But it wasn't going to affect college athletics. That's what they try to tell us.
They told you. We were doing the radio, and we had a guy on from Tennessee. He said, well, the good news is it won't affect recruiting. And we just looked at each other. You know, we were polite. But
yes, we were.
Man, you missed that one, buddy.
Well, Gabe Dines, I've watched him play many times. And, yes, he's great defensively. Led the Horizon League in blocks like he always does. Yeah. But he averages 7 points a game. And George,
I know.
I have
know
to admit,
you're saying.
If he was that dominant a player, why should have been in a tournament?
And even $61, that's not 2 per game. It's not like you're swatting Bill Russell 15. You know, and I'm sure he's terrific. I'll tell you what, go play for Musselman. You better. Gabe, let me warn you, Gabe. He cut 2 guys in the G League for not knowing who they played next.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around.
Don't play with him. You'll be playing with the wrong guy.
So Gabe Dines is leaving YSU. YSU already signed 2 guys in the portal. I saw that. That's an automatic. So when we get done with the portal and football and basketball, we'll let you know who they are.
Yeah, there are 4,000 in the basketball portal. Did you see some of those prices today?
Oh, yes.
They sent Al and me some prices today.
Michigan's already paid $8 million out for
yeah, already.
Already, yes.
It just ended. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. Hey, how about Farrell kid? You've seen him.
Yeah, lightning.
You're not surprised, right?
No, Kyle Wilson, who played at Slip Rock, led the country in yards on special teams.
Okay.
Transferred into YSU. I knew when I talked to my daughter who teaches at Farrell, she said, Daddy, his dad went to Cincinnati. He's got genetics, speed. And sure enough, 89-yard touchdown in the spring game, 3 catches for 148 yards. Difference maker for YSU. You can't coach speed, George. Who said that?
Yeah.
Bill Bourne.
Yeah, Bill, he's always said you either have it or you chase it. I think Bobby Bowden said it. It is fact. There he is, 89 yards. You know, if he catches a little slant and gets that little gap, he's gone.
Yeah, so good luck to YSU as they try to bounce back in that terrific league of theirs.
No.
And they need more than one Colin Wilson. They need a lot of players But Bo Brungard, they get the quarterback first team coming back in the Missouri Valley, so they get something to build on. Youngstown Phantoms are building again every time this year.
Every time.
We say, wonder how they're doing. Here they are, number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Dominant 6-1 win over USA national team. First round bye in the playoffs. George always tells you, want money for your buck?
It's the bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Them and the Phantoms. You're not paying major league prices. You go to Pittsburgh, you're not seeing major league talent anyhow, except on the other team.
That's for sure.
No, yeah. One of our buddies today had a 1 minute news on the radio, and he started like this: 162, 171.
That's their batting averages, yes.
It was.
I know what they are.
I thought, oh my, and they're two worse. They're 2 teams worse.
Think of that.
I can't. No,
That's hard to believe,
No,
huh?
if I watch Sawinski bat one more time,
Yeah, he should not be playing.
no. If you,
But that's part of the reason why they're not winning. 2 years ago, he looked like
he looked like
because you're looking at a guy I thought to be really good this year, and
26
I'm way
home.
off. I was counting Swazinski as a 35 home run hitter. He had 26 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Instead, he's got
107.
progressively worse.
Yeah.
I mean, way worse.
And
I mean,
why would you lead them off? Well, we'll
I wouldn't
talk about
play
that
him.
later. Oh, of course, 35. Here's my same with the second baseman. If you're not going to be good, which it appears they're not,
I know they're not.
I'm not going to play 35-year-olds. I'm going to play 19-year-olds.
Yeah, the kid got hurt though. The kid they want to play there.
Yeah.
You have to have somebody.
No,
in
they're
the
not
backup.
very lucky. No,
Yeah, Gonzalez got hurt. He just did a home run the first game.
I will
And
say
went down.
that.
In local baseball, Austin Rowe struck out 10, 3 hits as the Brave top champion. What I stood out to me, George, as I read this and wrote this, he pitched 7 innings, 95. They're 4-0 in the season. They can't get games in. You understand? They should have 15 games in now.
Yeah.
They have 4 games, and the weather's been atrocious.
No, I was just
Atrocious.
talking to a guy at the gas station. I said, I drove by there. They're digging the sewer up by my place. And this guy was out there Friday, and I'll tell you what, I felt sorry for him. It must have been 33 degrees.
Yeah, about
He's
15
standing
windshield.
there. And then today, he's out there, and it's 72. He's fine. Tomorrow, it's going to 48.
Yes. Up
That's
and
called
down.
Ohio
crazily,
weather.
Mixed in with a lot of rain.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's been hard to get games in, no question. Baseball, spring sports.
Yeah.
You got to.
Well, you coach tennis.
Well, we get them in. We find a way. We look for the weather. See, and we'll change the schedule.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to play on Thursday, we call the coach and listen.
Yeah.
We're not getting this thing on Thursday.
Yeah.
Come in. They'll say, okay, let's get it. We got them all in. That's what you have to do. You have to
be
change the
creative.
schedule. Yeah, because most times you wait for the AD.
Yeah.
It doesn't get done. So we make our own calls to make sure we get the games in.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the big boys. Now, we've been on here 2 decades. We have never started with golf. But
We have to start out
Sunday
yesterday, yeah.
was, did he choke? Yes. Did he this? Did he win? Now, here's all I'll say about Rory McIlroy, and I'll leave it at this. When I saw the other 5 guys that have done the slam, nothing
Not
else.
easy.
Does
No, it's
anything
not
else
easy.
need to be
No,
said?
it's not easy.
Gary
That's for
Player, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods?
It's not easier.
No.
Yeah.
So
Well-
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, George call was a loss of excitement. And here's what I saw, George. And I never wanted to ever be in this situation. I didn't see happiness. I saw
Relief. Yeah.
And I would hate to have to play anything.
It's been 11 years.
You understand? But
I
still,
know what you're saying.
why you should enjoy the journey. He didn't enjoy one minute of that Masters.
Not then.
All he was thinking about, can I win this
Am I going
thing?
to choke it?
Can
He
I win
said
this
he
thing?
admitted
Can
he
I
was
win this
nervous.
thing?
How about this? You're 2 up in the first hole. You double bogey.
Right off the bat.
I'm thinking, there he goes again. And he did it about 3
Well, he
times.
did. Well, once again, if there was anybody great enough, he shot a 73. It ain't like he shot a 68.
No, they said about 75.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
talk to
the
me.
people chasing him.
No.
That's why Tiger won all the time. Tiger figured it out.
No
I could just
chance.
shoot par the
No,
last day.
No.
It ain't like he had a great shot, one of the greatest shots in Masters history. But I didn't like that he couldn't enjoy it. I mean, I was like
Think
that.
maybe
I
you
was
will
like,
today or tomorrow?
I was like that coach. No, because
Too much pressure.
No, he puts all his thoughts of it. Can I win? Can I win? Can I win? And if you can't enjoy what you're doing, that's why I got out of coaching. That's exactly the exact same. That's why I got out. It was relief when I won a game. It wasn't celebratory. When I lost, I was
murdered.
Devastated.
Yeah, that's what Saban always said. The losses hurt way more than the wins feel good.
And that's when it's not good.
Yeah.
And, and I'm saying that's why I got out.
Now, he joined some all-time greats for sure. How about a one-hole playoff? Like, how do you feel about that?
I always liked it.
Okay, I don't like it. I don't like the fact they start where they finished. That's for TV. I'm sure it's easier to get the stuff
probably.
there.
Yeah, I've always liked that.
Oh, man.
I mean, the pressure's on. I want pressure. They're pros.
Well,
I want big-time pressure on them.
We'll see U.S. Open if they can crack Park, because I heard they've made that thing impossible.
Joe Allen was right
Down
on it.
at
12 under, he was right on it. Joe Allen came on our show Saturday.
Yeah.
And said that this is going to be a 12 under win.
And it was.
It was right there, yeah.
Right to the end. All-time greats, we've talked about those guys. But when you look at it, as you say, looks like you're down and out, and then you birdie the first hole and it's over. Yeah. That other guy, he was warming up for an hour, hitting balls, not knowing if
Rose
he'd be in
it. Great for himself, yeah.
Yeah, Rose got 4 shots.
Yeah.
And it was over.
That's why you got that pressure's on you. When you're a professional, say, okay, we're just 2 steps up the bat here. No doubt about it.
Now, let's talk about MLB. We've talked about this for a long time. It's way too early to win anything. But daggone it, you can put yourself in a hole. The stinking Braves, I know they're supposed to be good, but they better start.
No, they're not. Without Acuna and without Strider.
Acuna coming back?
No, you can't miss your 2
stars,
best players.
Pitcher and a player.
No. You take Otani and Freeman off their team.
They're just pretty good.
They'll be pretty good. They'll be decent, but they ain't going. You can't. And that's what happened to the Braves. You just can't do it. Yeah, you can do it for the Dodgers.
Can they recover?
It's gonna be hard because that league's tough. You know.
Yeah, you got the Mets and Phillies.
Yeah,
You're not playing
tough.
games there, are you? It's amazing when you think about it. Ask the Braves, as you say. Now, Cleveland, on the other hand, first home loss Sunday. 2 weeks and 3 days, they lost at home once.
Yeah, and they take care of business all the time. It seems like Cleveland all the time takes care of business. They win close games over and over with their defense and a clutch, moving the runners over, doing it the right way, and their bullpen is still devastating.
And you've said it before, too. They'll sign a star, too.
Well, they signed Ramirez. That's the only star they ever signed.
Yeah, but that's a big one.
They signed one. Yeah, that's all they did.
Pittsburgh would have let him go. You know that. Now, they lose everywhere. It doesn't matter if they're playing at home. When you only score 1 run or 2 runs, your pitchers, I don't think they can pitch properly knowing if they give up 3 runs, they're going to lose.
And they have built a team that was depending totally on their starters. So when Jones went down, major injury for them, major injury. When Gonzalez went down, major injury. You cannot replace them with the payroll they have. There's a drop, whereas Dodgers have 3 guys waiting.
Just bring Teoscar Hernandez
They'll bring somebody else in.
Or Kiki Hernandez in, and they make enough money. They'd be the Pirates' second highest.
The Pirates are bad to be. I mean, you're not going to be good anyway.
No.
But you have no chance. And then when you got your reliever who you spent all your money on just 2 years ago and ends up in the minor leagues, those things just wipe you out. Bednar was a closer 2 years in a row in the All-Star game. Gone, not even on the team. No. Those things, only Pittsburgh. Because I said they were going to be good this year. They're not good. They're horrendous.
Did the owner said the other day he gave Sherrington the tools?
He's lying.
That's not a fair comment.
No, the biggest lies I've ever heard. I mean, you could tell their payroll. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he said, I gave him the tools. I'm thinking, what tools did you give him, buddy? 80-some.
Everybody
knows. Spent more when Clint was there. They spent $100 million.
Everybody knows he's lying.
No question.
Yes.
And you wait for Skeens to pitch once a week. It's not enough. And it's certainly, he has to know, too. He has to pitch a shutout.
That makes it hard. That makes it really hard.
It does. He has to be
perfect. But their pitching's been okay.
Yeah.
It's their hitting.
Oh, my God.
No. They can't score a run.
No.
And they strike out double figures almost every game.
Well, they got a new hitting coach.
Think about that. They thought that was going to change something.
Listen, first of all.
They could have hired us.
They could have hired
save some more money.
They could have hired Mo, Larry, and Curly.
They could save some money.
They're not listening to Star. What did Chuck Daly say? They let you coach them.
Yes.
Just a little bit. They let you coach. but their ownership is clueless, and let's talk about that. From developing players to tearing down the Clemente wall and putting an ad there to destroying the bricks that people paid for with names of loved ones on them. What are you doing?
Yeah, can you believe that they put a horrendous team on the field? You would hope, okay, the front office still knows what they're doing. Otherwise, just the opposite. Every front office decision ruins something for the fans too.
How about the other day he walked through the crowd? What did he think was going? Now
If somebody had a knife, they would have got him.
He's lucky that John Wilkes Booth wasn't there.
Exactly.
What are you thinking, pal? You're going to walk through the crowd with that slop shop? What, you don't think anyone but about 4 Budweisers in him isn't going to say something?
Every one of them has 4 Budweisers.
He had security, but only had one guy with him. He's lucky.
Nutting is
Total failure.
raking the money in.
Yeah.
And
Well, he said he lost money last year.
He's lying.
Yeah, I don't. One thing about us, you got to show us. Like,
Yes.
we've learned through the years.
I mean, I see the
Follow the money.
writing on the internet. It says Pirates 4th most money made. I mean, one of them's completely off.
He doesn't
I think.
spend any either. That's
Yeah.
the other. That's what makes it easy.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's something you told me way back in the spring that I really liked, and I didn't follow up because it got away from me a little bit. Ohtani and Judge hitting 50. I would say if they stay healthy, you got a winner.
They could. There's no doubt
Don't
about
you
that.
think? Health is the only. I mean, it won't be guys striking them out. I don't.
Depends if they get ahead too far and rest them like
They don't rest.
last 3 weeks. I don't know what they're
I watched baseball for a lot of years. They don't rest them too much. Because
even when they clinch a
yeah,
pennant?
even when they click.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, the way San Diego's playing, maybe they won't click.
Right, San Diego's
somewhere.
playing good, yes.
Holy
They are
moly!
playing great,
But
yeah.
how about that 50 homers? And I think they both can do it.
Yeah, there's no doubt if they stay healthy, they will. I believe they will.
Heard
do
something
it.
interesting today. We just have to discuss it briefly. Tom House, one of the pitching gurus. Skeens uses this because I see him throwing the football all the time. House believes real big in throwing the football. And he said he doesn't think Ohtani will ever be a successful pitcher. He said his heavy weightlifting has done things to his shoulders that are not conducive to pitching, and he's going to get hurt again.
Yeah, House is one of those guys that has a routine that he really believes in.
And they listen when he talks.
And,
Right, he have Hutton.
And Ohtani's sat out now a long time. I know he'll wait. Dodgers will wait till he's perfectly healthy. He got 7 pitchers.
Yeah.
But they're going to pitch him once. He has a chance because they're going to pitch him once every 7 or 8 days. So instead of pitching him on a regular rotation.
No, he can't go every 5, right?
No, he's not. And that gives him a little chance. But I'd rather trust Tom House telling me than my own eyes.
Yeah, he said,
That's
ironic, there was an anecdote to that story there. Said Brady went to him, and the guy said, Brady's got like 5 notebooks full of everything he said. Everything he said, he wrote down. Everything. And now maybe all this stuff isn't a surprise why he was first guy in, last guy there.
I think most of the great ones.
Diet.
If you ask that.
How about the diet?
Most
But
of them
anyway, here was something interesting. He said every once in a while he thought Brady would do something wrong just to see if he was paying attention.
That's one of the great ones.
Sounds like
That's a great one. That's funny.
NBA, the playoffs are set. I'm going to tell you right now. I followed a little more the last few years, as you know. There will be some great games. Even the first round in the West will be competitive. I mean, Oak City, I think, is going under the radar a little bit. 60-plus wins. I think they set the record for point differential. They seem to be getting dissed a little bit as being young. But these games, man, oh man, you got the Joker playing against the Clippers. Man, come on. That's a final game.
Either one of them could win the West.
Oh,
Yeah, either one of them could win.
I'm not going to argue with you on that.
I think there's 6 teams can win the West. I really do think that. I know Oklahoma City's the favorite, but I think there's 6 teams can win the West.
Yeah, so what they're going to do, they're going to have a play, and we'll have to just talk with these people because a lot of times those things get away. What they do, they have 7 and 8 play, winners in. 8, who loses, or whomever, they play the winner of 9-10. That's how they get there. Then it takes
So 9-10 winner will move on. The 9-10 loser's out for good.
9-10 losers out for good, and the
Okay.
7-8 loser has to beat the 9-10 winner.
Gotcha.
So basically, it's 8-1, 2-7, 3-6. It all adds up to 9 if you're ever
I think,
trying to add it up.
just looking at that, George, I believe when the NCAA football goes playoff more, I truly believe the SEC will jump on that. I think they're going to play. Two teams get in, and they're going to play 3 and 6 and 4 and 5. I believe that's going. I believe they're going to, instead of having a championship game, they're going to have playoffs in their own league because they watch this in action. Watch how successful this was. I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. Now I'm rooting for the Cavs, as you know, obviously, big time. I have money on them, and I'm rooting for them anyway. And I think Brown's injury might be a little more serious for the Celtics than they're letting.
Well, if he's hurt, they won't make it. That's how good he is.
Help Cleveland for sure, at the very least.
Yeah.
MVP, what a tough choice. You got Jokic, who just set a record for averaging a triple-double for the year, and SGA, who I think is going to win it just because he's the new flavor.
Yeah, I think he's going to win it.
And he's good too, Al.
And also, he did something that I think he deserves to win it. His team won.
Well,
so I think that's important. Nobody else thinks that's important anymore.
No, I do.
I think it's really important.
I do. No, I agree.
His team won.
His team won. Mm-hmm. And won big.
Like when Joker was winning, his team was one of the top 2 or 3 teams.
Oh, yeah.
This year, they're not. Yeah. They have not played near
Let's talk about them firing their coach with 3 games left.
Oh, jeez.
Now, that has to be – things must have gotten so bad. Let me tell you a quick story on that. That late in the year, it's ironic. They called a practice last week because they had lost 4 straight. And instead of the practice, they called the players and they said, we just fired the coach. Wow. Now, Jokic says he was told 5 minutes before, but not consulted. There's a difference.
Okay.
And Westbrook was home. He didn't come. He flew out.
He seems like he's part of the problem all the time.
No. He is the manager, GM, who's Calvin Booth, played for Penn State. Uh-huh. He and the coach could not agree on playing Westbrook because, he just, as you say, he can shoot you in a game and shoot you out of the same game.
Yeah. He was my favorite player on Hardy plays, but he's one off my list because of how he's handled his situation.
You
with
say
his
he's
coaches.
Not all in
with his coaches, yeah.
Yeah, we've heard stories that are not very good. Interesting. Probably the biggest question. Now, by the way, on the way to the show today, Phoenix fired their coach, 5-year contract, 1 year fired. They had Beal. Beal didn't fit in. KD.
You can't fire the players.
They can't fire
That's the bottom line.
No, you can't fire them. Let me ask you.
The next coach is getting fired.
Yeah. Where
if they keep the same team,
where will KD end up?
I have no idea.
He's the story.
He's gonna try to choose a place he wants to win.
What's he got? How many thousand to win? Yeah. But you know what? He has that little bit of a rap of not winning until he joined up with.
It's a true rap. It's not just a little bit of rap.
He doesn't like that.
I don't care what he says.
But he can win without.
Yes.
No, he did not win. That's the truth. Let's talk about NCAA football a little bit. Spring practice is going on now. We've talked about
those spring games very often though.
No, like
that's
the old
really
days.
out.
No,
that's really out.
No.
Yes.
Games, spring games, a real game, blue, white,
gone,
scarlet, gray, whatever. Thing of the past. Now, what are they doing instead? They're having these little controlled, 10-man, 10 play things and stuff. And let's talk about them.
And their best players aren't playing.
No. Remember,
best players are not.
We've talked about
dressing
that
at all
on air. What are we trying to do? We have a quarterback. We're going to put that out of the way because we'll probably get one in the portal. It's not like the old days.
That has changed. In the old days, George said, keep your quarterback healthy. And
develop them.
That's gone.
No, we'll go get
that's 100, not 90.
Yeah.
100% gone. Tomorrow or the next day is the portal opening up again. There'll be 10 more quarterbacks coming out.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
Well, the kid at Tennessee overplayed his hand. We'll talk about that in a minute. I just want to give them the goals of spring ball. No injuries. We don't want any injuries. Uh-huh. And we also want to find backups.
Yeah, and they're finding them because that's all playing.
No.
That's what they're going to find.
They don't want the good guys hurt. Now, we got to talk about the Tennessee quarterback. It wouldn't be a sports show. Now, he was making $2.6. He was not selling pencils. He wanted $4 million. They said no. He boycotted practice. They cut him the next day, so to speak. Let me ask you 2 questions. One, do you think they have another quarterback, or they were just tired of his nonsense?
Yeah, that's what you just said. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then number 2, will he end
up? But they also know they can get a quarterback.
And they said he would end up at Southern Cal. Southern Cal said, we don't want him.
No.
We're not big fans of
UCLA looks like they're going to get him.
Well, there you go.
But, George, It's such a runaway freight train, sick thing.
Oh, yeah.
Make me throw up. You say it's not going back,
No,
but it's
not.
backfiring on everybody right now. It's so sad what's happening that you have to cut your starting quarterback because he wants more money.
They caused it by paying him in the first place. They're the ones that paid him the 2.6. You know, with no contracts, you had to think this was going to happen.
Yeah, I knew it was going to
I mean, when the guy left Vegas,
I knew it
everybody
was
said,
gonna happen.
they said, what happened? He said, hey, he said, they didn't pay me.
I don't know anything because I usually just think this one. Anytime money gets involved that big for kids who have no idea about money, and there's agents trying to make money for them.
Oh, sure.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, look for this more and more, agree?
Over and over.
Yeah. Teams are loading up. It's
They're going to try to
be-
get contracts. I don't know if they can do it or
Yeah.
not.
Here's the thing. They're going to try, as you say, to load up also. They know who's in the portal. 4,000 basketball players.
Basketball's easier.
Yeah, you only need...
Football.
You know, basketball, you get 2 or 3 guys, you could be pretty good.
Immediately.
Football,
Yes.
forget it. You need 30. Now, NFL draft, we're 10 days away. A lot of guessing going on. Now, let me ask you this question. Because the Browns are picking so early, is Shador a possibility? Is it a smoke screen that they don't want him? They brought in Flacco. By the way, pick it to this thing. I'm not here to back anybody up.
Well, that's what he has to say,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
but let me ask you this. Is there any reluctance to deal with Shador because of his father?
I don't know that, but I know he's not going to the Browns.
Not
Their quarterback. No, not.
They're going to play Flacco.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's better.
Okay, well, right now.
See, that's it. If it was a big time, Ward is even a hope. He's not. The 3 quarterbacks came out last year were way 1,000 times better.
And you know what,
these
Ward?
guys.
It started in Incarnate Word. If he was that good, he'd have started
No,
in Michigan.
you can't find quarterbacks, so they'll take chances. But Shador will not go in the first 6 picks. He will not go.
I think number 9 to New Orleans. Arms race, we've talked about it. Pittsburgh. Do they know something we don't?
About what?
Roger.
I don't know.
Do they think they have him in the
I
bag?
believe they think that, but I don't want him. And I'm a Steelers fan.
Either one.
I don't want to deal with him.
No, I don't. I don't want to watch.
What is his thoughts? What are they saying?
Oh, he don't. You know, he has. I think he was hoping Minnesota because they got great talent around.
Okay.
He's all about me. He doesn't
Me?
care
Oh, he's
about
definitely
Pittsburgh.
me.
No, he's not.
All about me.
I only have a couple minutes miscellaneous. We've talked about the NBA play-in, 7-8 winner in, 8 losers versus 9-10 winner, and we go from there. I have a question. I know your answer, but I'm going to ask you for the audience. Have you watched the UFL? I know the answer. I have to ask.
Zero. I'm like Greg. Greg, our producer, is not a sports
No,
guy.
he's not watching the UFL.
I guarantee Greg didn't watch the
No.
UFL, and I guarantee you I'm not watching
gonna be
it. Have you
honest.
watched it?
No. I have no life, and I didn't watch it, so that tells you something.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Unbelievable.
Here's a better thing. I didn't even know they were playing.
Oh, they're playing. Hey, how about this? U.S. Open's coming to Pittsburgh in June. We know it's tough course. They said it's going to be tough. I mean,
Yeah, they're going to make it.
tough.
That's what's supposed to happen. U.S. Open is supposed to be the hardest.
How about you
hardest
win it
course.
was -1 or
That'd be great.
-2?
I'd be excited.
In our last thing, we're
That'd
in
be
our last, we're under a minute. Every once in a while, sports makes us forget the real world. And over the
Happens every
weekend, a
day.
receiver from LSU, took his own life. And I just think it gives us time to pause or reflect and realize that, this is like the toy store of the real world.
The only thing that lasts 3 seconds. And you're back on to the real world. You're back in sports again. That's the sad part. Yeah. True.
Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.